it's bloomed like this, but it was almost like walking into a lilac yard. The scent was, it was just so delicious, and the bees were all over it, and not just the bees.
Do you have that one?
I don't have that one. I'm sorry, darling. Also, the endangered Atala butterfly likes this. Come to my house. I don't, it's the first time it's really flowered like this, so I don't have any seedlings yet.
Okay.
I'll keep you posted though.
Okay. Maybe we'll have to do a plant sale fundraiser.
We will have to do that. We talked about that.
Yes.
Well, we had the last fundraiser.
Oh yeah. Okay, here we go. Bastard indigo. I just wanted to give you an idea of what this plant looks like. Again, here's the pollen basket. This is it here. This is only its second year in my yard, so I don't really know how what it's gonna mature like. It likes a little bit of shade, and the Sri Lankan weevils love it like crazy, but the bees get a lot from their flowers, so we'll see how that goes. All of these, unless I say so, are natives. Scorpion tail. You all got scorpion tail, right? Yeah. Scorpion tail grows like a weed. It's a fabulous, fabulous little hard-working plant. And there is a pollen basket on this little guy, little lady, right here. There's always flowers, there's always bees, there's always butterflies. It's a great thing. Okay. My favorite. Sunshine mimosa. This is a knockout. So, in the winter, until all the sun is on it, this is on the north side of my house, until all the sun is on it, it's not so great. But once the sun starts to move up higher and it gets a little more rain and so on, this thing starts popping. And you said you don't have bees on your sunshine mimosa?
I've never seen them on there. They're too busy on the purple queen.
Well, the question is, how much sunshine mimosa is there?
How big is the plant?
How many flowers?
Well, I've seen quite a few puffs on it.
Okay, so what I've been understanding is that for most of these flowers, they want a lot. They're not going to be spending a whole lot of time for onesies, as my mother used to say.
Have you seen Power Puff Tree?
It's a different tree. It's a little bit like the. I'm coming to some.
Okay.
Well, did I do the dwarf? Yeah, I did the dwarf powder puff earlier, and there is a non-dwarf, but I don't have that. Yeah, and this flowers spring and summer, and how you get it to flower again some more is you mow it, and it reflowers. Pollen basket, big pollen. Okay, beach dune sunflower. Love this. The bees love it. A lot of native bees love it. I see probably 3-to-1 native bee, maybe 4-to-1 native bees to honeybees on it. But the thing is, I like providing a variety of food, because specifically with the pollen, if they're not getting, if not all pollen is the same, and so all their nutrients aren't the same, and so the more variety they have, just like us, the better and healthier their diet will be. Okay, Pineland heliotrope. I just have a little bush of this. It's a little ground cover. I don't have any here with me tonight. And but there's always a bee on it every day. And so I like that. And as it grows, it's still very young, as it grows, there'll be more, I'm sure. Coral honeysuckle. I love this. Starting here, climbing in, getting in. I mean, they're amazing critters, our little bee friends. And I think they're going in for for nectar. So I haven't seen it on their pollen baskets. I have that here if you want. This is a great climber on a trellis. It's a little heavy for a trellis. I would put it more on a chain link fence or on the ground. A lot of people use it as ground cover. Is there a question? Yellow leaf cup or bear claw. This is a new plant for me, but the bees really like it. It's something that grows in the shade. So we like things that grow in the shade, that have color. And we'll see. Last time when it got a little leggy, I cut it down and it came right back up. So we'll see how that goes.
Is it the same thing as Mexican clover?
It's not the same thing as Mexican.
Mexican sunflower?
No. No, this is native. Mexican sunflower is invasive. So this wants to be here. Broccoli. Who lets their broccoli go to seed, go to flower? The bees go crazy for it. Stevia. Oops, didn't want to do that. Go back. Stevia. Here. And African basil year-round. African basil is a purple basil. They're all purple. But it's sterile, so it doesn't go to seed. So if you want to reproduce it, you've got to make cuttings of it. But I keep them under my mango trees because my mangoes get watered. And so it keeps them, nothing else in my yard gets watered except by me. My fruit trees get watered. So it's always looking great, and there's always bees on it. Just like the gray leaf, always bees on the basil. This basil is really nice. It's not our, the basil that we use that gets bolted and everything. This is just fabulous. It stays healthy looking all the time. Grumachama. Does anybody have one? Yeah, there's my fruit council people. This is not native. This is native to Brazil. And here they are. The cherries are as close as you're going to get to Bing cherries here in Florida. Hands down better than Suriname cherry or any of the other cherries. I took out all the Suriname cherry when I moved into my house because it's invasive. But I love this tree. And I've got somebody's nesting in it right now. Pollen basket.
How big is that?
How big is it? Now it's about 8 feet. Some people make hedges with this.
Makes a good jelly.
It makes a great jelly. Some people make long hedgerows with it. Personally, I'm of the opinion, though, that hedgerows should be a little bit varied and not just one thing. If you look at the ficus hedges all around, you get a ficus whitefly and you're done with. I have put some cocoa plum in a row, though. I can't resist them. But
We'll see, like, we have Suriname cherries. We could replace it with like that.
oh, totally,
And a cocoa plum.
absolutely. Get rid of those things. I mean, they're a lot of fun. They're a little acid and tart tasting, but these are better. Biscuit. Starfruit.
Suriname, is that the same thing as Barbados, or is Barbados?
Barbados is different. Not a native, but also a good non-invasive cherry. Yeah. Starfruit.
You mean carambola, please?
Carambola. Averrhoa carambola. And if they're not eating the nectar from the flowers,
Sucking the juice.
they're sucking the juice from the fruit. That is so cool. And I leave them there for them. My starfruit tree is right in front of my hives. So when I had my very first swarm that I caught, it was in my starfruit tree, about yay high, deep in. And somebody helped me over the telephone. Jim helped, you helped, walk me through how to catch a swarm. Oh, it was so exciting. I still have those bees. And jaboticaba, my other personal favorite fruit. Jaboticabas are also from Brazil. They like a lot of water and sun. They take 8 to 10 years before they flower or fruit at all. That's when they start. But as they mature, there will be fruit covering all of these branches, all of these trunks. I prune them, they're very shallow rooted. I prune them around hurricane season to open it up so the wind can pass through instead of knocking it down like a sail. I've seen them go down. Not in my yard, knock wood. But, and this also is a year-round periodic bloomer. So it won't, doesn't bloom all the time, but,
I've seen the trunk completely white, looking like cotton candy.
and bees on it.
Oh, yeah.
And plenty of bees on it. And I hang CDs from my branches after that because I don't want the birds to take every last fruit.
Oh, yeah, I got the.
And it worked.
Crows, yeah,
It worked.
I have to try that.
I haven't put it on mangoes. I don't. This is my first year really having a flood of mangoes, so I don't really know.
How do you keep the squirrels out of it?
Pellet gun.
Yeah. Or a greyhound.
Dogs.
Greyhounds. I've watched my greyhound eat a squirrel. It was not pretty. Ugh. Anyway, I won't go into it. What?
Squirrel never bothered you again?
Oh no, the squirrels like they play with them. It's really terrible. So I did a lot of looking up, like there's so many people who have so many ideas about what are bee plants here in Florida. In Georgia, this is Malcolm's piece. This was a great piece. The Xerces Society has a Pollinator Conservation Resource Center. If you haven't looked at their website, it's really very interesting. This is out of Georgia, the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. Lots of different plants and when they flower and provide. And our own, this is Jamie Ellis. I don't know why these things aren't sharp. Let's see. Whatever. Can't read them anyway. They list Spanish needles in here. Of course, you all have Spanish needles. Whether you want them or not, they're on the roadside. Those little white flowers with the yellow centers.
Does it stick to you?
Those are a favored bee plant. They love that.
They're considered they're a high nectar source for bees.
They're a high nectar critical source for bees. And so I periodically pull them all out, but of course more come back in, and I give some areas in the yard to the Spanish needles. Because I don't want them every place.
You just whack them with the weed whacker, they come right back.
Yeah, I don't do that. Dahoon hollies are listed in here also, and I have some of those liners. Dahoon holly is beautiful. It's that tree that you see sometimes in medians, and it's got red berries on it. The thing with Dahoon hollies is it takes a pair, a male and a female, otherwise you don't get red berries. So, just so you know. And Brazilian pepper is listed here. I hate that it's listed here. We all know that bees go to the Brazilian holly because the honey tastes like it. But we should really pull those things out. One of the best sources, if you're interested, is just do a Google search for Julia Morton's honey plants of South Florida. She's got 22 pages of plants for Florida. Definitely the most comprehensive list I've seen. Her Fruits of the Warm Climate is a Bible of fruit trees that grow in warm climates for rare plant people. And this is a great, great list. You should. I think Sierra sent it out.
And you can't find that book anymore.
Which the Fruits of Warm Climate. I know. I've got one.
I've got one.
Her list includes wax myrtle, which I brought today, and some saw palmetto, which I really wanted to bring some, but I couldn't find any, and beautyberry. Although I have beautyberry, lots of them. I occasionally, excuse me. I occasionally see a bee on one, but not very often. Does anybody ever see bees on their beautyberry? A lot? Yeah. Yeah, they visit every night, which is good. We want that. We want to provide a whole party for them. This is a really interesting resource. This is the treasurecoastbeekeepers.org website. They have a wonderful list of trees, shrubs, and vines, flowers, and herbs. Oh, yeah, thank you, honey. Let me do that first. Yeah. beautyberry, black mangrove, blackberry, blueberry, buttonwood. Buttonwood is a nice plant. Does anybody have any green or silver buttonwood? And do you see bees on it? You do? Yeah, that's great.
In the early spring, it's one of the first things.
Yeah, awesome. Cabbage palm, of course, cocoa plum, coral honeysuckle, elderberry. I don't have that. Fiddlewood. Anybody else have fiddlewood? Fiddlewood's another beautiful smelling plant, but don't make them, if you decide to get one, I don't have them here, but if you decide to put one in, don't make the mistake I did and put in 4 of them because they're so sweet smelling. Put in 1 because there's a moth that defoliates them. And the more trees you have, the longer the moths will hang around because they'll just go from one to the next, to the next, to the next, and back again. It's really maddening. So I took out 3, and I have 1. Fiddlewood, firebush, Florida privet. I have most of these in my yard. Marlberry, partridge pea, passion vines. There is one, is it still here? Did somebody take the passion vine? Oh, somebody, oh, you did, okay. It doesn't matter which passion vine it is. I don't have the large passion vine in my yard. I have this small corky stem passion vine that the butterflies like, but the bees still go to the flowers. They find them. They're tiny, and the bees are always there. Let's see what else is here. Is peach and plum trees, red maple. I have one. I planted one across the street on the berm. Oh well. You know, I didn't have room for it in my yard. Who's government here? Uh-oh. You are. Don't tell, please. I think the berm is a good place to plant things. Saw palmetto, sea grape, swamp dog, sweet acacia, wild coffee, willow. My willow is just willow bustic actually, is just flowering.